I pretended to be unconscious in the hospital. Part 2. Heart rate is dropping, Dr. Martinez announced, playing his role to the end. 60, 50, 40. I could hear my mother sobbing dramatically, but it sounded more like relief than sadness. Camden kept his voice steady, as if he were just fulfilling an unpleasant duty. 30, 20. Dr. Martinez continued, his voice taking on urgency. We're losing her. My lungs burned. Every cell in my body screamed for air. But I held on, trusting Dr. Martinez, trusting the plan. Cardiac arrest, he announced. Starting CPR. I felt his hands on my chest, but the compressions were gentle, controlled, nothing like real emergency CPR. He was putting on a show for my family. Come on, he said loudly, as if trying to save me. Don't give up. After what felt like an eternity but was probably only 2 minutes, he stopped. Time of death, 9:47 a.m., Dr. Martinez said solemnly. The room fell silent. Then came the sounds I'd been expecting, my mother's theatrical crying, Camden's heavy sigh, relatives murmuring about how peaceful I looked. She's finally at peace, Aunt Dolores said. Free from her demons, Uncle Paul added. I lay there absolutely still, while they gathered around my body for one last look. Some touched my hand. Others just stared. Not one of them sounded genuinely heartbroken. What happens now? Camden asked, always practical. We'll take her to the morgue, Dr. Martinez explained. You mentioned you wanted immediate cremation. Yes, my mother said quickly. No funeral. Just a small memorial service later. She wouldn't have wanted a fuss. Another lie. They just wanted me gone as quickly as possible. I'll start the paperwork, Dr. Martinez said. You can collect her personal effects at the nurses' station. They left one by one, already discussing the insurance claim, the memorial fund they'd set up in my name, how to spin the story to their social circle. Not one person stayed behind to sit with me. The moment the door closed, Dr. Martinez leaned close. Breathe, he whispered. I gasped, filling my lungs with air. Felt like surfacing after being underwater too long. You did perfectly, he said, checking my vitals quickly. But we need to move fast. The orderlies will be here in 10 minutes to take you down. He injected something into my foreport. This will keep you sedated enough that you won't move during transport. But you'll be aware of everything. My limbs grew heavy, but my mind stayed sharp. I heard him make calls, arrange the transfer, falsify more documents. Then 2 orderlies arrived with a gurney. Tragic case, one of them said as they transferred me. So young. Brain injury, the other replied. Family made the right call though. Quality of life would have been terrible. They wheeled me through the hallways, down to the basement, into the cold room I'd only heard about. A morgue. Dr. Martinez was there, along with a woman I'd never seen before. This is Agent Wolf, he said once the orderlies left. She's going to help you disappear. Agent Wolf looked nothing like I expected. She was in her 50s, with kind eyes and a no-nonsense demeanor. She opened a large black bag. We need to move quickly, she said. Your family will want that death certificate within hours so they can start the insurance claim. Dr. Martinez will file it, but we need to get you out of here first. She helped me sit up. My body felt weak. Your family is upstairs right from the drugs and days of immobility. Camden is already asking about the insurance paperwork. I think your mother is calling relatives from the bag, your jeans, a hoodie, they're not a baseball wasting cap. Any time. Put these Agent on. Wolf handed me a backpack. There are cameras everywhere. Everything you need is in here. No one will look twice at birth certificate, social security card. Dr. Martinez turned away while I changed through the witness protection program. Back to us, watching the door. You're now Emma Clark, 28 years old, from Portland, Oregon. Emma Clark, I repeated, testing the name. We've set up a bank account with enough money to get you started. $5,000. It's not much, but it's clean. Your old life, your old name, your old identity. All of it has to disappear completely. What about my apartment? My things. Camden already cleaned it out, Dr. Martinez said. According to the nurses, He came by with a moving truck yesterday. Took everything. Of course he did. Probably looking for anything valuable to sell. Your credentials as a paramedic can't transfer, Agent Wolf continued. But your training still exists. We can help you get recertified under your new name in a few months. For now, you'll need to lie low. She handed me a phone. Burner. Use it only for emergencies. I'm the only contact in it. If your family somehow discovers you're alive, call me immediately. Will they look for me? They think you're dead. They're about to get a death certificate that says so. Why would they look? You pause. But we'll be watching them. The FBI has been investigating your uncle's case and how family members helped cover it up. Your testimony might be needed eventually. Dr. Martinez walked over, checking his watch. The funeral home van will be here in 5 minutes. When it arrives, you'll be in it, hidden in the back. They'll take you to a safe house for a few days until things settle down. What about you? Asked him. Won't they investigate? I've documented everything properly. Brain death after traumatic injury. Family requested withdrawal of life support. Patient expired despite resuscitation attempts. It's all standard procedure. There's no reason for anyone to question it. But his eyes told me he knew the risk he was taking. Why are you doing this? He asked. You could lose everything. He was quiet for a moment. Because I had a sister once. She was abused by our uncle too. She told our parents, and they didn't believe her either. She killed herself when she was 16. The room fell silent. I couldn't save her, he said. But I can save you. A knock at the door made us all freeze. Funeral home, a voice called. Agent Wolf nodded. That's our signal. She led me to the back of the morgue, where a service entrance opened to a loading dock. A black van waited, engine running. The driver was a woman in her 40s with short gray hair. Emma Clark, she asked. Hearing my new name felt surreal. That's me. I'm Sarah. Climb in the back. There's a hidden compartment behind the casket display. You'll ride there. I turned back to Dr. Martinez. Thank you. For everything. He squeezed my shoulder. Just promise me you'll build a good life. Don't let them win. I won't. Agent Wolf handed me an envelope. Instructions for the next few days. Read them once you're safe. And remember, you're dead now. No social media, no contact with anyone from your old life, no slip-ups. One mistake and this all falls apart. Climbed into the van. Sarah showed me the compartment. Barely big enough for a person, but well ventilated and with a small light. It's a 20-minute drive, she said. Try to stay calm. I know it's claustrophobic. I wedged myself into the space, and she closed the panel. Darkness surrounded me, broken only by thin strips of light. The van started moving and I felt every bump, every turn. I opened the envelope Agent Wolf had given me. You're going to a safe house for 72 hours. After that, we'll move you to your permanent location. A small town in Montana where we've arranged a job for you at a medical supply company. It's not paramedic work, but it's a start. Your backstory. You grew up in Portland, moved around a lot as an adult, no close family. Keep it vague. Don't volunteer information. People ask about your past, be boring. Boring is safe. Attached is a photo of your family at your memorial service. I thought you should see who they really are when they think no one's watching. Stay strong. You survived the worst. Now you get to live. Patricia Wolf. I found the photo paperclip to the letter. It showed my family at what looked like a restaurant, hours after my death. They were laughing, raising glasses in a toast. My mother wore a designer dress I'd never seen before. Camden had a new watch. I looked happy. Not grieving. Not devastated. Happy. I stared at that photo in the darkness of my hiding place, and something inside me hardened. They had gotten exactly what they wanted. Me gone, money coming their way, their reputation intact. But they had also set me free. For the first time in my life, I didn't have to pretend to be part of a family that never loved me. I didn't have to carry the weight of their lies or their shame about Uncle Richard. I didn't have to be the disappointment, the troublemaker, the inconvenient truth-teller. I could be anyone I wanted. Emma Clark could be whoever I decided she would be. The van stopped. Sarah opened the compartment. We're here. Welcome to your new life. I climbed out into a garage attached to a modest house in what looked like a suburban neighborhood. Normal. Quiet. Come on, Sarah said. Let's get you settled. You've had a long day of being dead. As I walked into that house, leaving behind everything I'd ever known, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. 3 days later, I watched the news on Sarah's TV. A small obituary appeared for someone named me. The old me. Died peacefully surrounded by family after complications from a motorcycle accident. Peacefully. Surrounded by family. Both lies. But the insurance company had already paid out. Camden posted on social media about how devastated he was. How much he'd miss his sister. The comments section was full of sympathy. My mother gave an interview to the local paper about starting a scholarship fund in my name for young paramedics. She talked about how proud she'd always been of my career choice, how she'd always supported my dreams. More lies. But they were lies that didn't matter anymore. They could rewrite history all they wanted. I had the truth and I had my life back. Agent Wolf called on the burner phone. Your family collected the insurance yesterday, she said. Celebrated with a trip to Europe. First-class tickets to Paris. Good for them. You sound better. I am better. For the first time in my life, I don't have to carry their poison. The FBI is still building the case against several family members who helped Uncle Richard avoid earlier prosecution. Your recorded testimony from the hospital might be useful. Are you willing? Absolutely. Good. We'll be in touch. In the meantime, Emma Clark, enjoy Montana. I hear it's beautiful this time of year. She hung up. I packed my few belongings into the backpack Agent Wolf had given me. Tomorrow Sarah would drive me to Montana, to my new job, my new town, my new life. Tonight, I wrote a letter I'd never send, addressed to the family I'd never see again. Dear family, you thought killing me would solve your problems. In a way it did, but not how you expected. You freed me from the obligation of loving people who never loved me back. You released me from the burden of being your scapegoat, your disappointment, your inconvenient truth. I hope the insurance money buys you everything you wanted. I hope Europe is lovely. I hope every time you spend that money, you remember you got it by deciding your daughter's life was worth less than your reputation. I'm not coming back to haunt you. I'm not seeking revenge. I'm just gone. Living a life where I get to choose who matters to me. Where every relationship isn't conditional on staying silent about inconvenient truths. You wanted me dead. Congratulations. Yes. And someone better rose from those ashes. Goodbye forever, the daughter you never deserved. I burned the letter in Sarah's fireplace and watched the ashes float away. That girl, the one who desperately wanted her family to love her, who tried so hard to fit their expectations, who broke herself trying to make them see the truth. She really was dead. Emma Clark was someone new. Someone stronger. Someone free. And she was ready to live. Epilogue. 6 months later. I stood in the parking lot of Whitefish Medical Clinic in Montana, wearing my new paramedic uniform. After 3 months of recertification under my new name, I was back doing the work I loved. My coworker Jake walked over, coffee in hand. First day back on the rig. Nervous? No, I said honestly. Just ready. My phone buzzed. The regular phone I'd gotten a month ago, not the burner. A text from Agent Wolf. Your uncle's case is going to appeal. Your testimony sealed it. Justice finally. How's Montana? I texted back. Montana is perfect. Thank you for everything. Jake climbed into the ambulance. You coming, Clark? Clark. My new name still felt foreign sometimes, but also liberating. Yeah, I said, climbing in beside him. Let's go save some lives. As we pulled out of the parking lot, sirens quiet for now, I caught my reflection in the side mirror. Short dark hair instead of long blonde. Different glasses. 20 pounds healthier from actually eating regularly and sleeping without nightmares. The girl in that mirror looked nothing like the one who'd laid in that hospital bed 6 months ago, listening to her family plan her murder. She looked happy. And somewhere in Texas, my old family was probably sitting down to dinner, toasting their good fortune, never knowing the daughter they'd killed was alive and thriving 2,000 miles away. Smiled. This was the best revenge. Living well, loving the life I'd built, and never looking back. The radio crackled. Unit 7, we have a motor vehicle accident on Highway 93. Multiple casualties. Jake grabbed the radio. Unit 7 responding. He flipped on the sirens, and we accelerated into the Montana evening. I was Emma Clark, paramedic. I was nobody's victim. I was nobody's disappointment. I was finally, completely, wonderfully free. And I was exactly where I was meant to be.